In late 2013, Vitalik Buterin was chipping away at the Mastercoin project. Being an early Bitcoin aficionado, he imagined blockchain as something beyond an installment framework. In November 2013, Buterin composed a white paper proposing Ethereum, and the thought accumulated critical interest. The idea started to turn into a reality, and the Ethereum Center Group comprised of Vitalik Buterin, Mihai Elizi, Anthony D'Iorio, and Charles Hoskinson. Buterin introduced at a Bitcoin meeting held in Miami between the 25th to the 26th of January 2014. The members gave him an overwhelming applause and a protracted Q&A meeting followed. Crowd sale. A pre-sale was moved toward February 1, 2014, yet this was dropped. A crowdfunding effort at that point went live from July 20 to September 2, 2014. A sum of 60 million Ether, the essential digital money of the Ethereum stage, were made to sell. This is otherwise called the Genesis issuance, as these are the first since forever Ether tokens made. The cost was 2,000 Ether, ETH, equals 1 Bitcoin, BTC, for the initial 14 days of the deal. The value at that point changed to 1,339 ETH per BTC for the rest of the mission. The initial 14 days of the mission sold more than 50 million tokens. 31,500 Bitcoins were raised through the crowd sale, and 12 million ETH were made, which would be utilized as subsidizing for the turn of events and different exercises. History of the Ethereum Foundation. A non-benefit association called the Ethereum Foundation was framed on July 6, 2014 and enrolled in Zug, Switzerland. This association administers the Ethereum project. The 4 periods of Ethereum. The Ethereum project comprises of 4 significant stages. Boondocks, July 30, 2015. Olympic, a test form of Frontier, was delivered on May 9, 2015. The reason for existing was to test the venture and award the individuals who discovered issues. The testing was done in 4 territories. Exchange movement. Virtual machine utilization, answerable for executing key agreements. Mining ability. General discipline, stress testing the stage with savvy contracts. Every classification had a principal prize of 2,500 ETH and numerous more modest prizes. After the Olympic testing, Frontier was delivered. With that discharge, the engineers had the option to construct appropriated applications and began mining Ether. Ethereum value expectations for 2021 to 2025. Ethereum, $ETH, is the second most significant symbolic when estimated by market cap, and the Ethereum stage offers its clients a wide cluster of devices. In contrast to Bitcoin, which was pointed exclusively at making monetary exchanges, the Ethereum blockchain was intended to do much more. The blockchain that powers Ethereum is definitely more unpredictable than Bitcoin and permits outsider designers to make their own tokens and sub-stages on the blockchain. This has prompted a lofty ascent in the prominence of Ethereum, in spite of the fact that it has additionally made issues for some devs that chose to put resources into making new stages on blockchain, which means making an exact Ethereum value expectation requires an all-encompassing methodology. ETH basically. ETH is the local badge of the Ethereum blockchain. While Bitcoin was intended to be cash, Ethereum was focused on a lot more extensive scope of expected employments. ETH tokens make the entire blockchain work and are expected to do anything on the Ethereum blockchain. For the occasion, ETH utilizes a proof-of-work (POW) framework that is like Bitcoin to favor exchanges and keep up the blockchain. This might be changing over the course of the following not many years with the coming of ETH 2.0, albeit the guide to actualizing the new proof-of-stake (POW) framework isn't all around characterized. While the ETH token wasn't really intended to be utilized exclusively as a money, it has become a famous method for the 2 reserve funds and installment. Ethereum additionally has a vigorous biological system that is perhaps the main instruments that decentralized finance, DeFi, devs have as of now. How has the cost of ETH acted before? ETH's value records return to late 2015 when it was exchanging on the open market for under $1. It had the option to organize an unobtrusive assembly into the $10 zone by January of 2017, which is the point at which the genuine fun started. ETH costs went on a very fast assembly to more than $1,400 per token in January of 2018, when it entered a bear market that would accept the cost as low as $87 before the finish of 2018. After the tumble to twofold digit costs, ETH exchanged sideways for 18 months. The token appeared to be covered at $250 during this time, yet it likewise appeared to discover purchases at the $100 level. In July of 2020, the $250 level was defeated on weighty volume. ETH exchanged as high as $475 in September of this current year, prior to falling back to test the breakout at the $320 level. From that point, ETH has revitalized to more than $600 in late 2020, and the outline for the symbolic looks bullish, as it has had the option to break out of a multi-year exchanging range on enormous volume. What components influence the cost of ETH? Ethereum is an unpredictable stage that is impacted by various elements. Since Ethereum's blockchain is worked to empower outsider turn of events, new stages that sudden spike in demand for the organization can impact the cost of ETH tokens and exchange costs on the stage. Perhaps the greatest thing that may have driven ETH out of its exchanging range the center of 2020 is the DeFi blast. While ETH isn't really utilized by all these new DeFi stages as a methods for exchange, numerous new DeFi stages are based on the Ethereum blockchain, which implies that some measure of ETH is required for the DeFi tokens or stages to work. The utilization of Ethereum as a base for DeFi applications brought about net interest for the token, which was plainly useful at the cost. Inquisitively, as the DeFi bubble became bankrupt in the fall of 2020, ETH costs stayed raised, and exchanging volumes were higher than toward the start of the year. The entirety of this focuses to different wellsprings of interest for the token, just as a restricted association between DeFi token costs and ETH costs. As 2020 unfurled, interest for elective resources rose. As the second most significant token behind Bitcoin, ETH has become a venture resource for some institutional financial backers who are entering the crypto markets. New ETH purchases aren't searching for a speedy benefit. While DeFi designers may not utilize ETH as cash, some are, however many aren't. Institutional financial backers are utilizing ETH as computerized gold and holding the token for the long stretch. Grayscale Investments, a main crypto venture organization, has raised record measures of new speculation capital in 2020, quite a bit of which streamed into long-haul ETH possessions. The speculation model that Grayscale offers isn't perplexing. The organization purchases and goes about as a caretaker for customer reserves, which essentially implies that the ETH is being placed into cold stockpiling as a save resource by enormous financial backers. As the premise of DeFi, at any rate for the occasion, ETH is an imperative piece of an arising environment that is worldwide in scope. It is exceptionally difficult to exaggerate the job that DeFi could have in the monetary scene of this century, and Ethereum's blockchain is a centerpiece of the DeFi improvement space. While the stage's ubiquity influenced a few applications that depended on low organization expenses to work, numerous DeFi stages wouldn't be affected by possibly higher exchange charges. As value activity in the last piece of 2020 has appeared, lower DeFi token costs don't mean less interest for ETH, and as another save resource for the more extensive monetary local area, ETH has underlying help that numerous DeFi stages need. NFTs are filling in notoriety. Notwithstanding DeFi, Ethereum is additionally utilized as a base for crypto gaming, and the non-fungible token revolution, NFTs. Tokens like BTC and ETH are fungible, in other words, every one of them are the equivalent. Notwithstanding, Ethereum's blockchain underpins the utilization of NFTs, some of which are made by utilizing the ERC 721 convention. The market for NFTs is huge, and they are now tracking down a home in the gaming and advanced craftsmanship universes. In the realm of gaming, these tokens can be utilized to make interesting things, which can be possessed by a gamer. This model stands as a distinct difference to conventional incorporated game turn of events, where the stage's proprietor controls all the in-game things. Since numerous NFTs are made with the ERC-721, they can be effectively exchanged for different tokens, as ETH or BTC. It might be said, there is as of now a commercial center for these game things, which could be appealing to the up-and-coming age of gamers. In the craftsmanship world, NFTs have been utilized to both address fine arts, and furthermore to hold novel works that are token-based pieces. Workmanship NFTs have effectively demonstrated fruitful, with a NFT holding a representation of Vitalik Buterin selling for more than $400,000 at public closeout. Ethereum value expectation for 2021 to 2025. The following 4 years will probably be positive at crypto costs, and ETH is driving the altcoin pack. With its break over the $280 level in 2020, ETH crushed out of its post-bear market exchanging range and is presumably going to a lot more significant levels throughout the following not many years. It is not difficult to see that ETH costs occupied with a long lining measure that started in late 2018 and went on until mid-2020. With the break above $300 on enormous volume, ETH is flagging that another buyer market is most likely here. Given the background of simple national bank cash and government spending programs, ETH costs might have the option to ascend to levels that are hard to envision right now. Quite possibly the main factors that are driving the stage move in the crypto markets is the reception as an independent venture by institutional financial backers. While Bitcoin has customarily been the top choice of crypto financial backers, enormous financial backers from the setup business sectors don't have similar feelings concerning decentralization. All things being equal, these financial backers are probably going to support a development model, and furthermore reward stages that offer the capacity to advance. To put it plainly, ETH is the ideal stage for financial backers that need both the capacity to hold a token as cash and advantage from the rising utilization of the stage by outsider engineers with novel thoughts. Given the premium in Ethereum's blockchain by designers and financial backers, it isn't difficult to see a situation where ETH costs move to somewhere in the range of $1,000 and $10,000 throughout the following 4 years. Perhaps the greatest obscure going ahead is national bank strategy, which has been hard to foresee over the previous decade, particularly in 2020. As ETH is turning into a money-like save resource for setup financial backers, almost certainly, new cash, that would have streamed into values or obligation may now track down a home in long-haul ETH property. While ETH is acquiring in esteem, its complete capitalization will well underneath $100 billion USD. With the current boy of ETH in the business sectors, a $6,000 cost would suggest a capitalization of around $650 billion, which is still low when contrasted with a solitary organization like Apple or Alphabet. Obviously, the possible uses for ETH's blockchain are far more extensive than both of these two organizations' items or administrations. Given ETH's generally little capitalization right now, the potential at a hazardous ascent in cost whenever is genuine. Standard installment stages are making the way for crypto use, and the innovation to utilize tokens like ETH at a retail level is set up. It is extremely hard to anticipate how high ETH costs will go in the coming years, yet the heading is positively up. Different factors that could affect the future of ETH. The Ethereum blockchain is on the cusp of rolling out some significant improvements. The ETH 2.0 undertaking is currently completely subsidized and will start work on a venture that is intended to make a move from proof of work, POW, to proof of stake, POS. At the point when Ethereum was planned, it utilized the very method to approve blocks that Bitcoin utilizes, which is POW. A POW framework has some significant downsides, which is the thing that the POS is intended to address. Nobody truly understands what will occur as these updates are presented, and they will incorporate a net addition to the measure of ETH in the commercial center. The measure of ETH that will be added is in any event 4 million tokens, at any rate as per new gauges. At its most essential level, this move up to ETH 2.0 is a bet. However, on the off chance that it is fruitful, ETH will be the most skilled public blockchain there is. The absolute most significant issues that a POS framework addresses are the capacity of agitators to mount a 51% assault and the immense measure of energy that is expected to work a POW blockchain. There is significantly more, yet given the overall early stages of these projects, it is practically difficult to know how they will be actualized, or what impacts they may have. From a financial backer's perspective, POS is a greatly improved framework. A POS framework sets out a lot more open doors for easy revenue, as the holding of a token turns out to be inalienably significant. Marking on a POS stage can be considered as setting aside a premium-bearing installment, as enormous stakers can procure rewards by means of their marked tokens. More modest stakers who don't partake straightforwardly in the approval interaction can in any case acquire by going into fixed installment brilliant agreements with a validator, which could be a pretty much programmed measure for any ETH holder that was intrigued. Generally speaking, ETH 2.0 could be a monstrous chance for advanced financial backers, albeit nobody knows how it will unfurl in the coming years. The reality is ETH a wise interest in 2021. The crypto markets stay as unstable as usual. Albeit the Ethereum value forecast is looking positive for in 12 months' time, the way to those more exorbitant costs is presumably going to be brimming with quick drops down. Buyer markets will in general have fast redresses, and as ETH is likely entering another bull run, sharp moves lower will in all probability enter the business sectors occasionally. ETH is one of the main tokens universally, and there is no uncertainty that institutional financial backers consider it to be a comparable resource for Bitcoin. Given the way that set-up financial backers are entering the computerized resource space in higher numbers, ETH ought to have purchasing support throughout the following not many years. Would it be advisable for you to purchase ETH today? Presumably, yes. In any case, remember that the crypto markets move more like the item markets, and you will presumably need to utilize a gathering methodology that spreads your purchasing capital out over months or years. From a specialized angle, ETH resembles an unfathomable purchase. The token has placed in a long and all-around tried base, which it broke out of definitively. With the high-volume move above $300 in the late spring of 2020, ETH has opened up the way to a lot more exorbitant costs. Remember, the underlying ascent in ETH costs to around $475 brought about a tumble to the $320 level, so purchasing a situation in stages bodes well than making an erratic purchase on the lookout. On the crucial side, the presentation of ETH 2.0 in the coming years is empowering. Dissimilar to Bitcoin, ETH could turn into a resource with a normally happening pace of return because of its arising POS model. This would make it more appealing to numerous financial backers who need to produce a danger-free automated revenue, albeit this framework is still years from being a reality. The greatest concern with ETH is that the cost may fall abruptly, which settles on it a helpless decision for anybody that is searching for a money same. In the event that you would like to keep a considerable measure of significant worth in the token, it would be a smart thought to fence however much worth you need to have on an on-request premise, so that present moment down moves don't make issues for your money counterpart's position. Assuming Ethereum isn't for you, investigate our top picks for digital money interests in 2021, where you can get some answers concerning a scope of other fascinating undertakings. Exchanging the long haul requires a great deal of time and responsibility in the event that you need to perceive any genuine benefits. The digital currency world is consistently conscious, and you can't generally respond to the enormous influxes of instability. However, there is an approach to make your procedures work day in and day out. With an exchanging bot, you can ride the high points and low points of the market feeling free and more effectively than a human can at any point do. ΔApps has instruments that permit anybody to profit by mechanized cryptographic money exchanging with or without coding information. ΔApps Rule Builder, zero coding information required. The Rule Builder is a one-of-a-kind item that permits you to relocate sections to make your own exchanging bot. It permits dealers to effectively make and backtest exchanging their procedures. It's extremely simple to utilize, it accompanies pre-characterized exchanging systems, and once you choose which methodology to go with, there's nothing more needed than a single tick for you to begin live exchanging. You can expand upon curated, pre-characterized exchanging procedures, and select from more than 100 specialized pointers to utilize Boolean rationale and organize your system parts. When it's all prepared, essentially, backtest your technique with recorded information to perceive how your bot performs. Reality Code Editor, Python coding information required. Trality Code Editor is the world's first program-based Python bot code editor, which accompanies a cutting-edge Python API, start-to-finish encryption, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. In the event that you are hoping to fabricate a beneficial exchanging calculation Python, the code editor is the one. You can alter in program with astute auto-complete to help accelerate the cycle. The code editor brags in program investigating, and you will profit by the utilization of clear forming and your backtest history to truly calibrate your code.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Life is Often if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.